It is 6:07 on the East Coast. It is 3:07 on the West Coast. It is the 4th of October in the year of our Lord 2020, Season 2, Episode 23. 70 times this face and or this voice has welcomed you to the Cheap Popcast, your one-stop shop for all things professional wrestling. We are live from Vocal Studios in North Dallas/Addison, Texas. We're so glad that you're with us. It is pay-per-view day 2 of 2. Back-to-back pay-per-views, and we've got a couple of weeks off, and then we go to Hell in a Cell. Welcome. My name is Rob. I am the executive producer of the Cheap Popcast, and it's been a long time since I wore this shirt, so we had to bring it back, even though he's not on the card tonight. It is the day of NXT TakeOver 31, no subtitle. Let's go around the dais. Joining us from an undisclosed location, he is the only person on the show advertising the show this week. You may know him as Igbunu, but his mama named him Don Ford. I'm going to call him Don Ford. Hey, brother.
Subtitle.
You know what? I'll give him that. I will give him that. That was pretty.
Hey,
that's
awesome
funny.
shirt you can get at ProWrestlingTees.com/theCheapPodcast.
You know what? I'll go.
It's
I'm counting it. It's close enough for government work.
It should.
You just heard his voice
podcast.
before he auto switches to him. He is my co-host, and he is honoring his bet, but he also wears a shirt, even though it's from Ohio. It's from one of his favorite wrestlers, so it's a wash. He is Alex.
Yeah, but the question is whether or not this will be a choice later.
Get it in full frame there.
Hold on a second. Let me stand my short butt up. Okay. It is in the state of Ohio.
And he is actually on the card tonight.
That is true.
Joining us again, and he'll be here the whole time this week. He is a man who decides when he drinks the tall boy and when he doesn't, and when he drinks an Oktoberfest beer from a microbrewery and when he doesn't. He is one of my oldest tenured friends here in the great state of Texas. You may know him as John Hauser, but we call him Doc. Hey, brother.
Hello, mein Liebchens. Alles klar.
All right, so we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're still trying to figure out the right rhythm to these deconstruction episodes, and we will have the deconstruction of NXT TakeOver 31 here in about 51 minutes. Also joining us out in the hallway is our engineer and the host of Big 12 Talk right here on Vocal. It is Jay Gillespie. Hey, brother.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Hey, Jay, let me know when you're able to get the video moved over, so that way we can see what's going on. So we may have to sacrifice Don on camera to do it, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, sounds good.
All right, it is the day of NXT TakeOver 31. We're going to go ahead and do the picks right now off the bat so we don't have any other issues. So that way we don't run up against anything. What's that? Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. Last week was Clash of Champions Gold Rush.
Gold Rush.
Thank you, Don. See, he's right on top of it today. And only in 2020 could I have won twice, one of those pitching a perfect game, and for the first time ever, we hold the belt up the right way because your winner is Doc.
Yes.
He wins picks for the last pay-per-view.
Yes, I did.
Let's go over the scores.
I win.
Doc wins at +2. Beating Alex by a point. I was 3 points behind Alex, and Don gets the toilet because he was 2 points behind me.
I am the champion.
Now do it in German.
Ich bin ein Islander.
Moving on.
You're the Icelander? What?
Islander.
There was no. Let's go ahead and do the picks, and then we'll talk about the card itself. Let's get to it. This is not necessarily the order of the card. This is the order of what I believe the importance is. In the only non-title match tonight, there's only 5 matches on this card.
Back to what TakeOver has
Right.
been.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Because we were in for the long haul last week.
Oh, yeah.
And we also learned last week, we have to have somebody in the third chair. We were both exhausted after Night of Champions. Gold Rush.
Gold Rush.
Thank you. See, his timing's been really good today. And him and Doc got there at the same time.
NXT, no subtitle.
So does a car accident.
Don, it was funny the first time. Leave the funny where it sits.
Okay, Gold Rush is okay.
So,
where did this horse come
And
from? Why is it dead?
In the only non-title match tonight, Kushida versus the Velveteen Dream. Doc.
Velveteen Dream all the way.
Doc.
I love that guy. He's awesome.
All right. Straight up.
Straight up.
All right. Alex.
Well, as we have another person picking this event, I
Pick
will
yours
say-
first and then pick Jess's.
Okay. As much as it hurts my heart because I love Kushida, he's one of my favorites. Velveteen Dream by pin, and Jess has the same. Copy and paste.
Working on it now, sir.
Oh no, I was just confirming. It was identical, sadly.
Don.
I'm going the same thing. Velveteen Dream by pinfall. And Doc, keep in mind, future picks, you got Champion's Advantage. I'm looking out for it.
We actually explained that
I've
to
been
him
made
in the
aware.
pre-show.
I have been made aware of the champion's advantage.
But I appreciate you reminding us, Don, because
yeah.
nobody's used it in a minute. So
That's also
I'm
true.
going the other way. I'm saying Kushida via submission.
I would be happy to take the L for that.
I think that Velveteen Dream is still not done paying for everything that's happened in recent months.
Has he yet?
He's been off TV for a while.
Eh.
But I think that this is Kushida's time for a push. I think Velveteen Dream, we are winding him down for him to wind up somewhere else sometime in the next 9 days. Because as we know, the draft is this coming weekend. Alexa Bliss, how you doing? She's doing her podcast with Lance Bass. I love how it's called Uncool. This makes me happy. He's wearing a dinosaur t-shirt too. Or is that a Rugrats thing? Is that the Raptor?
Reptar?
Is that what that is?
I think so.
Okay, fair enough. But I think this is the time where Kushida hasn't really had a good push, and I think this is what starts that.
I don't think they know how to book anybody who can't really speak for themselves. And while Kushida can't speak good English for somebody who I think it's his fourth language, still not great or good enough for a promo cut.
And remember, Alex Shelley not under contract to Impact Wrestling currently.
Yeah, but the last time they had that opportunity, they dropped out.
I'm
the
hearing
time splitters.
rumors again.
I hope so, because they need to redo what they did in that title tournament.
NXT Cruiserweight Championship on the line. Santos Escobar versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. Alex, we are to you, and then Jess.
This is the world hates Alex's favorites card, because as much as Swerve is by far one of my favorite, and I think is one of the most talented people on the planet, I think they don't move anything off of Santos Escobar, so it'll be Santos Escobar by pin.
All right, and what does Jess say?
Jess would have the same.
All right. Don.
Unfortunately, I'm saying the same thing. I hate to be in a record, but I believe Santos by pinfall.
Doc. You don't need champion's advantage here because you already picked last.
Yeah, I know. I was just wondering what LA was picking. So.
I have not received picks from LA,
Oh, okay. That's
and it's
too
past the
bad.
deadline.
I tell you what, just so to do it up a little bit, I do have Santos, but I'm gonna do by. They say pinfall. I think I'll do by submission, just to,
Just so that we're clear,
So-
and we want to update everybody, Doc has not watched any programming this week.
Nope.
So he's going in pretty much blind.
This feels distinctly like one of those where it's like Swerve will win by countout or something.
But I
though.
feel like Swerve, this is going to be at a bigger takeover for him to win this title. And there hasn't been enough done with this title since Escobar won it because, again, 205 Live was unavailable to me on Friday night because now they're going to start taping with NXT instead of SmackDown.
Yep.
So they're trying to catch up. I just don't see this belt moving either. The NXT Cruiserweight Championship on the Cruiserweight, yes.
Well, but
no, North American title, I'm
the
sorry.
only
God
way
bless
this
it.
moves is if Legado del Fantasma winds up getting drafted to Raw with Andrade or something.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I spoke it into existence.
Yeah, fair enough. North American title on the line. Damian Priest versus Johnny Gargano. Don.
Damian Priest by pinfall.
All right. Doc?
Damian Priest by pinfall, but only because evil always triumphs over good.
That was expert analysis right there.
He
He wins the belt once, and all of a sudden, he's the John Madden of WWE.
Except for the fact that he hasn't watched programming, so he doesn't realize Damian Priest isn't the evil one.
Technically, I'm using the same strategy as I did the week before by not watching anything.
Here's a guy that's got a title.
Oh, God.
I can't do John Madden. My John Madden is not good, and I'm willing to admit that. Alex and then Jess.
Oh, that sounded way more like Chris Collinsworth.
Former Gator great.
So it was never great. So this is another one. They like to give their champions in NXT more time to run, and especially with the way that NXT ended, Wrestling Logic mandates that I pick Damian Priest by pinfall. And for Jess, also the same. It's not very interesting. I don't know why we have this takeover right now. Other than the Capital Wrestling, what did they call it? Center. The Capital Wrestling Center.
We'll get to that here in a minute. I'm going the other way.
Good.
We've got to have some competition in this thing, and I've won the belt twice and pitched a perfect game, so I'm not going to win for another 5 years, so I'm not even going to try. But I would be interested to see this belt move to start a program with it, for God's sake, if nothing else.
I feel like what we may get is the debuting vignette might actually wind up starting with North American title, but we'll see.
I feel like I agree with you. This will be the match that starts the card. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, well, the North American title should start it. You'll have...
Well, there's always the cruiserweight
breeders.
belt, which is usually on the pre-show, and there's no pre-show except for a little bit, so...
Yeah, but that's going to be that's going to be second or fourth at this point.
NXT Women's Championship on the line. Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae. Doc.
No. Well, I love Asian chicks, so I'm going for the EO all the way. That is the only reason I'm voting, because she's just hotter than the other chick. So I'm going for her.
Straight up?
Yeah, I'll do straight up. Why not? Straight up, no chaser. There you
All
go.
right.
Yeah.
Alex, then Jess.
I agree. Io Shirai by pinfall.
All right.
And we're going to get a little bit of a wrinkle, as Jess has Io Shirai by submission.
Oh.
She has been working with a little bit of that grounded octopus, though. So that's going for her.
That's delicious.
Not the grounded part, though.
Well, if it's misbehaving.
The Hokkaido.
Don.
I
was a
hate
good
to
joke.
say it. Me and Alex are being twins so far. Shirai by EO by pin.
Man, I'm not that ugly.
You know, just because I'm going to go the other way here, too. I'm going to do Candice LeRae via pinfall, because that way then the Ultimate Power couple has the belts.
I would be very happy for that, because both of them deserve recognition and deserve title runs.
I'm going to say via pinfall.
If she was French, I'd do that.
Because I just
but
hate when we all agree on everything. It doesn't make it any fun.
No, but that's the problem with having a takeover like you do here. Everything is spoon-fed.
That's fair.
Look, if Candice LeRae was actually French, I'd go for her. But
French
she's
Canadian?
not. Well, nah.
I don't even know if that's accurate. I just know her name has left.
Nah, I've seen her. She's not actually pure French Canadian.
Just once I want to hear her say, "Less I."
Let's
I've actually said that multiple times this week.
submit.
And in your main event, NXT Championship on the line, Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly of the Undisputed Era. Alex, and then Jess.
See, this is the one that I hate the most, because I love that Kyle O'Reilly is getting a chance to talk. And we'll get into it when we talk about NXT, the show itself this week. But Kyle O'Reilly can do everything. There's a reason he's been a champion everywhere he's been and put on amazing matches. However, as he even said in his own video,
In his prime target?
in his own video,
Or in the
of
face-to-face?
the
The face-to-face, okay. With Shawn Michaels.
Correct.
Who can only see one of them.
Well, yeah, I think he can see both of them.
No, one of them he can see the lights.
Oh, okay. But even he said NXT champions don't lose their first defense, so it's going to be Balor by pinfall.
And what did Jess say?
The same.
Don.
Okay, this is where it's going to change up. I am saying Finn Balor by pinfall, but so there's a decider between me and Alex if we go straight ticket. I'm calling shenanigans.
What kind of shenanigans are you declaring, sir? Because we'd have to make a
To the
judgment.
moon! To the moon!
Okay, not what I'm
I don't
asking.
know what that means.
What do you mean?
Who causes the shenanigans? Because we have to be able to make a judgment call here. Whether it qualifies or not.
Because Undisputed will not. Let me
I
clarify.
think it's either going to be HBK because of the beef, or my buddy to the moon. He got so bad that he lost a title shot. So it could be a couple people.
Oh,
but-
that's Cameron Grimes. He's thinking Cameron Grimes. gets involved.
I'll allow it. Doc.
or Shawn Michaels. I'm thinking something
I
like
can't
that.
see
I'm
that.
calling pure
Yeah,
shenanigans.
you don't have. Yeah, you could just call shenanigans. I was just making sure of who you were calling so we could declare whether it could
if
be
it's someone from
qualified.
the Undisputed Era, that's not shenanigans. I'm going to say
Correct.
it right now.
No, you're right. You're right.
Okay,
But
if it's
Don,
HBK,
Don,
if
wait,
it's
wait, wait.
Grimes,
Don,
One meeting.
okay.
who
Okay.
are you picking?
He already said it. He said he's picking
Balor.
Finn Balor via
That's what I was
pinfall,
I didn't
but he's
hear it.
combining it with shenanigans.
But I didn't
Right.
catch the.
But I would have called it if he hadn't. So know that I know. That's what I'm just saying. I've got it here.
I don't trust unless I hear.
Fair enough. Doc.
So he's not coming out as the demon, right?
He is not.
Then I tell you what, I'll go a little different. I'll go Finn, but I'm gonna go by submission instead of pinfall, just to break it up a little bit.
Because he wins the belt.
This could be the most Doc pay-per-view picks of all time.
Why not? I mean, I picked the Cowboys today, and look how that worked out.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So
I've also got Finn Balor via pinfall. I really like Kyle O'Reilly.
Yes.
There's got to be a better build-up for him. And this is if he's going to have his moment again. This is another one that would be at a bigger takeover than this.
Yeah, and it's not even so much the bigger takeover as much as having a real crowd. As much as they've talked about bringing in friends and family so that they have an actual crowd reaction, meh. I mean,
all right.
it's.
Well, Alex, as the card stands, grade the card.
I think this is going to be a really good takeover, even though I feel like it's going to be predictable.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it a B minus.
Did Jess grade the pay-per-view?
Let me check real quick. I do not have a grade.
All right. Don, what are your thoughts?
I'd say a C on this.
All right. Let's get
It's nothing great. I think it's going to be too predictable.
All right. Let's get it's the wrong place for that. All right. And what did you say again, Don? I'm sorry.
C.
Doc.
I think it's going to be too predictable, but still.
C plus, because where are the ladders? Where are the tables? Where are the chairs? Where's the barbed wire? Where's the double fire match? I mean, what?
That's not what NXT does.
Well, I know,
For the most
but
part.
that's why it will always be. That's. The
I'm
top I
actually
can
going to
give it.
say B minus because if it's one thing we know about most takeovers is that it is quality over quantity, and so I'm very hopeful for this. Alex.
Jess is also hopeful. She just sent in her pick
Okay.
as a B plus.
B plus. All right. She's got the high road there. She's got the high ground. All right. Let's get into some highlights from last week, especially as we talk about Clash of Champions, Gold Rush.
Gold Rush.
Thank you. No title movement. So there was that. Garza has torn his mild quad tear, says he'll be back in 3 weeks. So that was real. Grade it now. Don, in retrospect, you said it would be a D plus. What are your thoughts now?
C. I'll move it up to C.
All right. Doc?
You want to use your champion's advantage now?
Well, no, I can grade it now. I actually had a pleasant drive out to Gainesville. Saw my mom, saw her friend. We had a very good dinner. I will give it. It normally would be an A, but it rained on the way home, which made traffic a little treacherous. So I'll give it an A minus.
So you didn't watch the pay-per-view at all?
I'm not saying. Yeah, that is what I'm saying. Yes.
Alex, grade the card.
What
Now.
did I give it initially?
Initially, you gave it a C.
You know what? I'm gonna do something a little off the rails because I just love how that main event came together, and I kind of dug the Legends involvement. It was a fun show. It wasn't spectacular by any stretch of the imagination. I will give it a solid B plus.
I had originally graded it a D. I will upgrade it to a C minus. It felt like it stretched on an awful long time, but that main event, I will agree, was very enjoyable. It was very well done. Doc, I would say at least go back and watch the Roman Reigns Jey Uso thing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Especially since apparently it's going to continue.
Okay.
But you have the interesting thing is, I almost feel like they shouldn't be allowed to do this stuff unless they have to pivot something. Unless they have to make some booking on the fly, because it seems like when their back's up against the wall and a certain older gentleman who signs checks can't get in the way, and they have to
He's trying to. We'll talk about that here in a
which
minute.
they have to book on the fly, things seem to get better. This takeover is a great card, but it wasn't the card they wanted. Anytime NXT or the main roster has to pivot because of something last minute and they don't have time to run it up the chain, it gets better.
Mania could be back in Tampa.
Bay.
SoFi Stadium may be on the back burner. If nothing else, we can use the shirts we were going to use last year but didn't get to.
Are they going to use the cannon this time if they get to go back to Tampa?
I hope.
Let's hope they get to go back to Tampa.
Yeah.
Gotta have someone
let's
go
put
up
it that
Raymond
way.
James Stadium is amazing.
Yeah.
Let's get to what could hijack the rest of this show.
Oh, here we go.
This past week, it was announced that new contracts for superstars, and Don, I want you to pay attention to this. Vince wants control of their cameos and their Twitch feeds.
Okay.
Because he feels this is money that WWE is leaving on the table. I am vehemently against this. Now, I can understand, and there's one person I want to use because I think this person is the best example because of their work with social media, especially when it comes to live streaming, and that is someone that Don also knows very well, and that is one Ember Moon. If Ember Moon wants to use her social media handle for Twitch or Cameo, I understand it because Ember Moon is a name that was given to her by WWE. And I believe it's Ember Moon WWE, or WWE Ember Moon is at least her Instagram handle. However, Don, do you know her real name by chance, offhand?
Let me find it. Give me a second here, okay? All right.
So Alexa Bliss is another one. She's very active on Twitch, as is Zelina Vega, as is Paige.
Well, is Paige even under contract still?
That I don't know right now.
I don't believe she is.
Okay, Ember Moon's name is Adrienne Reese, Reese. Adrienne, Adrienne.
So Adrienne
Reese.
Adrienne Reese. So if she was on her Twitch feed or doing cameos as Adrienne Reese, the company should not have access to that money. Period.
And not in the URL. The Ember Moon is not in the URL for her.
Okay.
Her Twitch is twitch.tv/halfdragonm.
Okay, and her Instagram, though, is WWE Ember Moon.
Right.
That is her,
Correct.
you know.
It's same with her
So
Twitter.
if it's her own name or not a name that WWE has rights to, then that is their own deal. That is their money, in my opinion. However, there is a gray area that Doc and I were talking about today at lunch. Mm-hmm. If I pay, and I know this is a low ball mark, trust me. If I pay $200 for Ric Flair to do a cameo birthday greeting for Doc, and Doc gets that video, and it says, John Hauser, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Woo! I'm styling and profiling and wishing you a happy birthday. There's a gray area there because of the gimmick. Now, if Adrienne Reese sends a video to Doc and says, hey, Doc, this is Adrienne Reese and from the WWE, and I want to wish you a happy birthday and thank you for being a fan, they don't get that money because it has nothing to do with the gimmick.
Well, they're definitely going into separate folders.
Well, that is true.
God.
Yeah.
But this has, I don't want to say this has angered me, but this has kind of fired me up because the company has enough money. The company is not hurting.
You've gotten to the point of where I was when we first started talking about this a couple days ago.
It doesn't make any sense. And Vince also has to realize, again, we don't have any problems voicing our opinions on this show. We will praise the company on the same level that we will criticize them because that's what we do. You are not the only game in town anymore. Your quote-unquote third brand is getting its butt handed to it on a regular basis from another promotion who is giving that kind of freedom to their talent. So you have to realize this is a bonehead move that will backfire. The only thing about this that gives Vince reprieve are the talent that have said, I don't really use it anyway, so this isn't that big of a deal to me, so I can sign the contract without any real consequence.
But there's another wrinkle to that.
Please.
They want to put in the contract that they are going to be not required seems like too strong of a word. Think of a legalese for they will be strongly encouraged to stream on Twitch, to help be their own advertisement and add income that they may not have otherwise, but they're going to share it. So they're adding levels to not only does WWE have hands in their pockets on Twitch for those that are using it, but the ones that aren't using it, they're going to be having go out there, even if it's to cut a 5-minute promo. There's layers to this that is insane.
And you're right. And technically, they don't have to sign the contract because free will is involved, and that's how it's written into. And it could be just a whole way of Vince saying, I don't want to get rid of these people, but I do want to get rid of these people, and I to make the contract
Right, but
this way,
but they're
and
putting it in
automatically go.
every contract, Doc. It's not they're not being selective.
Well, but that's exactly what you would do from a business.
But if they're
standpoint.
independent contractors, you can do whatever you want with the contract.
Yeah, what I'm saying
But
is
they
Vince
can also
personally,
book you however they want.
right?
as
Vince
well in
personally
response.
says, "I know who's going to sign it. I know who's not. This way, I don't have to fire
He's
them.
thinning the herd
they
without
will leave,
firing
They'll
them.
leave on their own without firing.
I guess it also depends
That's
on the
what I think
length of the
he's
current contract too.
Right, and that's what I think he's doing. You know, the
This
whole,
will backfire.
You know, the
I'm
whole
saying.
thing is like
it already is.
Yeah. You know, sometimes like a workplace will say, "Well, I don't want to fire them because of what we have to pay them. However, I'm just going to make it so thing for them. They're just going to leave on their own accord."
Well, but the
Been there.
problem is that they already have contracts that are structured that
Right.
if they quit, they can't go work anywhere else. Or even if they're still under contract but not being used, they may have met
Right.
their minimum and aren't getting paid anyways.
Right.
That was one of the big things that happened to FTR on their way out.
Right.
Was they were still under contract and couldn't go work, but they also weren't getting paid.
right. So either way, Vince wins,
Exactly.
which is what he does, and this should be no surprise to anyone that he's going to do something like that. It's
Devil
really not a
went down to
surprise.
Stanford.
Yeah,
So let's get into
exactly,
Raw.
Exactly.
Can I say my piece on this?
Quickly, yes, please.
Because everybody had their little
Because the
thing on
NXT Takeover pre-show has started, so I don't want to spend too much more time on this. Go ahead, Don.
But just let me give my about 30
Please do.
seconds on this. It's a weasel because they are independent contractors, and they're saying if you do it, you're going to be terminated. Well, that wasn't in their original contract. Now, if they sign a new contract in the future saying, "Hey, we're going to do this," that's their thing to sign and all that stuff, and they agreed to it. But all of a sudden, in mid-contract, saying, "I'm going to amend your contract and add this because I say so. If not, you could be fired," which they said they could be fired. You're talking lawsuit. And I hope that somebody stands up, and if Vince gets so big, he fires somebody because of this or does that they actually sue his rear in the end.
We'll
There's
see.
a point.
We will see.
Yeah.
Problem is that they
Yeah.
wouldn't have grounds because of how the contracts are written up.
Well,
It's
yeah.
not fair, but that's the way it is.
Right.
We'll
and they
be
know something
monitoring.
We don't.
We will definitely be monitoring this situation as it develops for you right here at the Cheap Popcast. Raw notes: Orton McIntyre in the cell. Yay! Both of the cell matches, 2 of the 3 that are being
Rumored.
pitched. Seth is so in almost dad mode that he doesn't know the difference between DMs and text messages.
I can see the gray area.
I'm just saying. He's already rounded up to being a dad. So congrats, Seth. Rude had the old Team Canada perm.
Yes, he did.
Good to see that. And
There was a
what-
lot of dying in that.
what I
too.
learned this week, ski goggles can see in the dark.
Those aren't ski goggles. Those are welding goggles.
I was
They
gonna
literally
say,
do the opposite.
They were not night vision goggles. I don't care what anybody says.
No.
You can't sell me on that.
But that's the part that's the most ridiculous bit of this. What are welding goggles for? They're to keep bright lights
Yes.
from harming your retinas. And the problem is you're wearing goggles to make it darker than pitching them as night vision. It's the exact opposite.
yeah, at the end of the show, Orton walked into the room where
I actually
yeah.
did see this.
Yeah,
No,
those
I
were
did
not
see-
night vision goggles. I don't care what you,
You know
say.
what?
I think it's
I knew
funny,
what they
but-
were going to do is like, well, here's a prop. It's kind of like you were. It's kind of like getting mad because Willy Wonka
No,
wears
I
glasses.
think they forgot
I mean,
I think they forgot to get him, and somebody just stopped by like a Bass Pro on the way and was like, "Those look like night vision. Give me those for $20."
Okay, remember when Johnny Depp wore the big glasses in Willy Wonka, and all of a sudden
Yes.
in the TV show, and you're like, "Well, those guys." Well, that's just what he wears, and so that's where I'm going with that.
The worst part is what would have been better for realism but would have broken multiple people is it's Randy Orton who's playing the janitor. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. But
Welcome to
playing-
6 days ago.
Yeah, playing the janitor and comes across Naomi's glasses that light up laying on the ground. That would have made more sense.
Let's keep it moving and go to AEW Dark.
Yeah.
There were 9 matches for almost an hour and a half this week. So Mbadu comes out, or Mabadu, and Taz makes the Erica Badu reference. Really? You're better than that, sir. You really are.
How you pronounce his name again?
It's M''BADOU. It's
That-
Mabadu.
Mbadu?
It's Mabadu.
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 Erica Badu Mbadu.
That's what Taz made the reference
I'm
to.
with Taz on this one.
No, I'm not. Caesar Bononi? Really?
That's his name.
You picked the name Caesar Bononi?
It sounds like the
Like,
fifth.
I can't even say it any other way. Like, my mouth was Bononi.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do anything with that.
But here's the other problem. He's in NXT. It's basically the name they gave him.
No, this was AEW Dark.
I understand
Oh,
that.
he used to be in NXT.
He was in
Okay.
NXT. This is the name they gave him, which was Bonani. And it's Bononi now.
Are you sure it's not the salad at Carne
Yeah,
Russo?
leave-
It's
leave it
like
go.
it's the
Leave
Caesar
it be.
Bonani with the anchovy sauce.
Gun Club got a decently sized match on Dark. Enjoyed that.
Good for them.
Oh, really? Okay. Cool.
I do believe that Anna Jay and Tay Conti would be a very good program if we can get this thing up and running.
Program or team?
Program.
Oh.
We said Tay Conte.
Tay Nara, who used to be in NXT, she's now going by Tay Conti in AEW.
Just like the Mexican beer, Tecate.
No, that's
No,
not. That's
that's
Tecate.
Tecate.
This is Tay Conti. So like Bill Conti, the
I'm gonna
composer.
get the same.
Yeah, it's not the same.
He gets the belt one time and he's hijacking everything.
Oktoberfest has
I'm
taken
mad
hold.
with power.
That's Holland.
And for those of you that need to adjust your
I'm writing it out as long as I can.
for those of you that need to adjust your roster card, Luther and Serpentico are now Chaos Project. I believe Doc was in that band in the 90s.
Oh, I am that.
No, that's not a project. That project has been completed, sir.
But on the
That's
That
a
is-
philosophy.
That is chaos executed.
exactly.
did you see the tweet from Luther though?
No.
It was from a match where he and Jericho faced off 30 years ago.
Oh,
that
very
was
nice.
Pretty cool. And Luther had a full head of hair and looked like he was doing a Mad Max gimmick. It was weird.
Last week we talked about Camille getting engaged. This week she wins the NPC Daytona Beach Bodybuilding Classic. So she's had a good run in the last couple of weeks. Speaking of people getting married, in news that will make Alex very sad,
Meh.
Jordan Grace and Jonathan Gresham are now officially married. Mazel tov to those kids.
I'm happy for them. I'm more disappointed that they moved out of state.
Did they? Oh, okay.
They now live in Georgia, I believe.
Let's see. Victory Road was a thing. Let me get you the results.
That sounded very stalker-esque. I want to take that back.
Oh yeah, let's hear this.
no, no, no.
Let's see.
I got it,
Last
I got it.
night.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do. Last night, Victory Road was on Impact Plus, and the only reason I have results is because I got them in an email. The Rascals defeated Triple XL. Brian Myers over Tommy Dreamer. Willie Mack wins by countout over Rohit Raju. So he was the guy that answered the open challenge.
Yeah, but respect to the old school of Rohit being like, nope, I'm done with this. I'm
Yes.
just going to take the count out.
Tennille Dashwood defeated the newly married Jordan Grace. Heath and Rhino defeated Reno Scum.
Because you have to.
Trey Miguel over Moose.
Because he has pictures of
Again,
somebody.
I want to see Trey Miguel's contract.
Yeah.
Josh Alexander over Alex Shelley.
That was a four-way.
Oh, and Ace Austin and Carl Anderson. You are correct, sir. And Deanna Parazzo defeated Susie to retain the Knockouts title, and Eric Young defeated Eddie Edwards to keep the world title. That's what you got.
Hi, Liz. How's it going?
What?
I just got. Don't worry about it.
Friend of yours watching the show?
Yeah.
Hi, Liz. We want to send a shout out to Liz. Do I know Liz?
Yeah, you do.
I do know Liz.
Yeah.
Hi, Liz. I don't know which Liz he's referring to, but if you recognize this face, then we've met, I guess. Okay. RVD and Katie Forbes no longer with Impact Wrestling, Doc.
No, really.
They are officially done with the company, so cancel culture has been completely canceled.
Well, the interesting thing is supposedly their contract has been done for a while. And they were just working like piece by piece. But they left on good terms, so they may still go back with a new contract. Or there's rumored that he's been doing some stuff with WWE on the side.
TNA may not be dead, kids. There is talk of Access TV doing a spin-off show with a TNA roster to air on Saturday nights. Because I don't have enough content!
EC3 would like a word.
I was really hoping Saturday in the morning and it's all animated for TNA. That would have been great. But you said night.
TNA Rock and Wrestling.
Oh, my God.
Ace,
I think that's booked. I think
Yeah.
that's copyrighted.
Ace Austin and Madman Fulton are your AAW Tag Team Champions.
Okay.
Because reasons. And we have the announcements of how the week of Bound for Glory is going to go.
You mean how it's planned?
So you'll have your normal show on Tuesday night, the 20th. And right after that, you'll have Talkin' Shop Full Keg with the Good Brothers. On the 22nd, you're going to have a special called This Is Bound for Glory, which doesn't happen until 2 days later. And then day of, they will show that again, and then the event itself. So that's what you got going. Let's talk a little bit about Impact because we have to. Just so that we're clear, I watched Impact instead of the debate to show you where that ranked.
There was less violence on Impact.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say less.
All right, equal.
Isaiah Swerve Scott is walking, and he's wearing suspenders.
Yeah.
Santos Escobar got his jacket from David S. Pumpkins when he was playing the Riddler. Joaquin Wilde needs to not wear vests or wear the ones that are higher up.
For those wondering what's going on, it's play-by-play on the tape.
We're getting you ready for the deconstruction coming up here in about 18 minutes. Matthew said the Good Brothers were going to have a wine soon. That's lame. Because as we know, we talked about last week on this show, Undertaker and... Josh Matthews, just call the match. You're not good at taking shots because they don't work.
Actually, you could have just ended that with Josh Matthews, you're not good. There's still nothing he's good at.
Carl Anderson and the Good Brothers came to Impact for, quote, a lot of money. I would like to quote the great philosopher and historian Gonzalo Lebitard. And a Ken Shamrock heel turn 3 weeks before his induction into the Hall of Fame.
Showing that he can still go. I mean,
But you're going to have Rock send a message and stuff.
who cares?
By the way, I watched the finale of the Titan games last night, finally.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Very much enjoyed it. I liked what they've done with the Titan games in Season 2. Although Rock wearing a satin jacket that might have been one size too small was a little awkward.
Does he own clothes that fit him?
But a satin...
Does he own clothes
but
that fit
hear
him?
me... Like, normally, yes, I get it, but an 80s style satin jacket with the elastic cuffs and the buttons, that doesn't work. I'm sorry. Dwayne, I love you. I'm a huge fan. Not a fashionista, but not a great choice.
He doesn't care. He can do whatever he wants.
To be fair, have you ever worn satin that's too small for you?
I have not.
Because it feels awesome.
I'm so glad Doc
Sometimes I just got to feed him. All right, AEW Dynamite. Kenny Omega says the video game is in development.
He's been saying that for months. It's the same thing.
Here are your two show notes from Dynamite, because I only have two. Good to see FTR get a decent run on a match.
Yeah.
And Billy Mitchell?
Yeah. I appreciated that.
Why?
Because Billy Mitchell, the King of Kong.
He is not the King of Kong.
I know
He's a thief! I've seen that documentary. NXT
Why did they have him on there? What was the point of Billy Mitchell?
because they were playing video games.
Yeah.
And Billy Mitchell's a video game record holder.
I hear he's good.
And I believe he's a Twitch streamer.
And he's also from our section of the country.
And has very good wings.
Well, everybody has their
That wings place is really good.
I love Ricky's.
Yes.
I bought their stuff by
I'm
the
also a big
gallon.
fan of Roosters, too.
I haven't been to Ricky's. Is it really? Is that the one?
It's in South Florida.
It's in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's
If
go
we
there.
ever wind up in Fort Lauderdale, I will take you to
Dude, if
Ricky's.
we ever get docked to South Florida, that will and I'm gonna apologize for what I'm about to say to you because you know I am eternally grateful to you. But the three of us in South Florida, that would be a bigger adventure than Alex and Rob's adventure in January.
Oh,
You do
dear.
realize that there is one step that would need to be taken. I will have to call a man named Mitchell. I will not say the last name because of legal basis. We will have to have bail on tap.
Oh, dock in South Florida.
I've already got bail on tap. Let's make this happen.
Is your shirt bedazzled?
Yes, it is.
Oh my
You
god!
just now noticed that?
Which side can't I see on?
That's fair.
Oh, there you go. See, bedazzled.
Please stop trying to show me that.
Tegan Knox does have a torn ACL, so I really thought maybe she would get involved tonight, but with that injury, she's not going anywhere.
Well, the crazy thing is, did you get the notes on how it happened?
No.
There was no segment. There was no anything. She wasn't really doing much. It just popped.
Oh, dear.
Tegan Knox's ACLs do not want her to move.
We are at the Performance Center
No.
tonight. So, Don, I don't know if you're aware of this, that we're not at Full Sail. We talked about this a little bit last week. But going forward, 205 Live and NXT are going back to the Performance Center, but it's not the Performance Center.
So yeah, they renamed the Performance Center to something.
Oh, dear God. Sorry.
We go live to Alex for more information.
Okay. This is a thing. I don't know how to describe what I'm looking at, but NXT and WWE's Twitter has posted a picture of.
Will we see it here in about 13 minutes?
Yeah, it's there's penalty boxes.
There are. Wow.
There's like sectioned off
Okay,
areas.
somebody is listening to this show because I am the guy that originally said it looked like a hockey rink.
But it's like there's sectioned off areas. There's weird
Okay, Don,
chairs.
when this thing goes live, you're going to need to text me with your thoughts when you see it, okay?
I know
okay.
why.
And we'll give it out live.
No, I know the answer to this because they were actually going to have people who had groups of
They're doing family and friends, so they're
yeah.
grouping them.
They're doing family and
For
friends.
the
and
record,
grouping.
I'm sending it to Don.
That's
now.
what
Okay.
it is.
Don,
I
don't
knew
know if
something
you heard
before
that.
you
Yeah,
guys did.
And
I
part of the
knew
reason that
something
they're
before you did.
No, we
they're
recorded
stay with
it
me.
last week.
Stay with me. Part of the reason that they're leaving Full Sail is because they're using a closed set, and so they're not using Full Sail students for the production. They said the door is still open. They could go back down the line, but right now this is the plan.
I'm very curious to see if that's a video board that goes the whole way around the arena, though.
Okay.
Because that'd be pretty cool.
I didn't have any notes on NXT, and I know you said you wanted to talk about something.
I needed more.
All right, then
feeding
we'll move
that,
on.
But
NXT UK, Kenny Williams is your wild card. So your
hooray,
hope for
Tyler Bate.
Tyler Bates.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
I
No
just
one.
realized he's never seen that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to sit down with Doc for a UK takeover for the next one.
No,
I have not seen the
I
UK
think you would
takeover.
really enjoy
I
the
need-
UK product when they've got a crowd.
I just need something
Really?
with Tyler Bate for him. That's
So yeah,
all I
Tyler
need.
Bate. He's
Trent
one
Seven.
half of Mustache Mountain,
Yes.
and so the chant for him.
You know, I saw that, but I was in the wrong
Yeah.
theater.
Well, the chant for him is Tyler Bate, Tyler Bate, Tyler Bate.
Oh, yeah.
But then everybody,
Yeah, what's even
but
better-
everybody,
That's Give It Up by
right,
Casey and the
right.
Sunshine
Yeah.
Band.
But
Yeah,
when the people start to do the na, they can't do it all in rhythm, so it sounds like one long drunken stupid. Tyler Bate.
But here's the thing: it's in England, so they are drunk.
Yeah.
But what's even better is like, oh, he tags out, it's over. Nope, because here comes
Trent Seven Army. That's his tag team partner. I think Doc needs a Mustache Mountain T-shirt.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, okay.
That's actually the name of their tag team, Mustache Mountain.
I love them.
That's hilarious.
They are arguably.
You know, I'm going to
two
go
of
wear
the-
that down to Village Station.
I
and see
know
what
you
happens.
are. Is it still there?
See what happens.
Oh, it's there.
Okay. Noam Dar has advanced in the Heritage Club and will face either A-Kid or Flash Morgan Webster.
And
Whoever
we'll
wins this
probably
week.
move on because they have a lot invested in it.
The only SmackDown notes I have is Reigns Uso in the cell.
Well, they didn't confirm it being in the cell until the next day. But I'm curious, what are they really going to try to sell this as?
If Jay loses, he has to bow down.
Well, no, I was going to go worse with it. Is Jay going to become Virgil for Roman Reigns?
Because he has to
I think
bow
that's going to end up
down.
being Jimmy. I think that's what they're going to do.
I think Jimmy's going to be the one that's like, this is too far, but you are still
But
like
that's
trying to
but
be the
see,
middle
to me,
ground.
that's the turn.
We're not talking about little Jimmy.
No, not little Jimmy. It's a whole different thing.
No, he's getting
Don will
booked
be upset
amazingly.
that we're going to talk about Cheeseburger, but we're going to for a minute. He now has a wrestling school in Bristol, Pennsylvania called the the Worldwide Wrestling Dojo.
So does he teach you how to give you the
The Heisman? That's right. We don't like Cheeseburger because he gave Don the Heisman. And we stick up for our dude.
Although he has been trying to work something different, so now he's less dressed, but he has muscles, and he is now the Rhythm.
And he turned heel on friend of the show, Jay Stong. He
That
turned
is-
heel on Mr. Wobble, and we have a problem with that. We have a problem with you, Cheeseburger, and Jay Stong's going to take you down. Mr. Wobble's coming for you.
Although I just realized why he may have done that.
Half of what you just said could be said at LeBaire. You know that, right?
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
New Japan president and CEO Harold Mage is resigning on the 23rd of this month. Will be succeeded by the New Japan of America president Takami Obari.
That is great news for people that want to see New Japan work with All Elite, because Harold Mage was the one talking about keeping them isolated.
Yeah, there's been a lot of mixed emotions by the guys in the back. Oh, we have Corey Taylor wearing his CMFT belt. That is the cover of his new album, Doc, is that belt.
Yeah.
Okay. So cool. All right.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you can figure it out, but we're not saying it on
And Corey
No, I got
Graves,
the
is it
general-
Corey Graves
I
and
got it.
Finn Balor that are in the video?
I'm sorry, I wasn't
Is
listening.
it Corey Graves and Finn Balor that are in that video?
I have not
I
seen
know
the video.
Corey Graves is in the video.
I have not seen it.
I can tell you here in just a second because it's on the front page of 411.
No, I was having fun pulling up Mustache Mountain's logo for Doc.
Oh, it's Corey Taylor and
I'm getting
it's
that
Baron
shirt.
Corbin and Corey Graves are in the video along with Chris Jericho.
Okay. Wait, Jericho's in the video too?
Yeah.
That's true. They are close.
I was gonna say you should not be shocked by this.
I am shocked based on the fact that
Now,
Corey Taylor is working almost
we have
exclusively
one
with
more
NXT.
quick piece of business before we get you ready for the deconstruction. Here's the deal. When the pay-per-view starts here in less than 10 minutes, we're going to go off the air and then come back. We are going to be with you live the entire pay-per-view tonight. So pull up the network on whatever you're going to watch the network on. Mute that. Go to vocalnow.com. Pull us up also on the app. We're going to be doing our own commentary with discussion all the way through NXT TakeOver 31. Doc's going to be here with us this time. He had an engagement he had to be at last time, and Doc is one of our favorite guests, and so we're really going to have a good time. It is still going to be family friendly.
It will be. I can speak German.
That's still not the point.
Hey, this time do we get to win?
There he is. You already won last week.
Oh,
But we will be here for the entirety of this pay-per-view. So stick with us. Last piece of business, real quick. Don, I'm going to ask you this question first, and then we're going to go around the room.
All right.
Who do you think the mystery person is that
What
they're
do you
going
mean
to
mystery
unveil
person?
tonight? They've been doing vignettes for a couple of weeks now that someone is going to debut tonight. Allegedly a former champion.
Oh gosh. I can't think of the name right now, but who was the first NXT champion?
Well, it depends
That
on
was
your
Seth
definitions.
Rollins.
Seth Rollins is the original in this
Okay,
version of
not Chris
NXT.
Rollins.
You're saying it's Rollins?
No, who was champion after Rollins?
Big E.
Biggie Langston.
You know what? I'm gonna be daring. Yeah, because they've been kind of screwing with him. Big
Mhm.
E.
All right. Alex?
Well, I believe it's going to be somebody particular, and I believe that is what they're going to shoehorn into it. But my fantasy booking is I really want it to be Bad News Barrett, but it's going to be Bo Dallas.
I would like to see that, but I would also like to see him be this extension of the Wyatt family.
Bo Dallas?
Yes.
See, and I just want it where Finn Balor wins after a great match, and you just have the coming out going, I've got some bad news.
No, but see, what I would like to see is they play the Fiend's theme, and then he shows up, pulls the mask off, and it's Bo Dallas. I think that would be cool, but that's
It's
not who I'm
interesting.
picking. Doc?
first off, does it have to be any gender type?
No, that's
Oh,
why I said person.
All right, I have two answers.
Okay.
The one that I want and the one that I think it is.
Okay.
The one that I want, obviously, Rob Van Dam.
That would be cool.
Rob Van Dam's who I want.
That
He's
would be
my leader.
really cool.
We all know why.
Doc's pick for the Rumble every year.
Rob Van Dam. And one year I was right.
Yes, you were.
I was right.
I don't know if that's accurate.
No. It was totally accurate. I said Rob Van Dam, and he came out and.
Well, he didn't
we all
win
lost.
it, but
He
Doc
didn't
picked him
win,
to be
but-
in it.
No,
Okay.
yeah. I picked him to be in it.
All right, but who do you believe it'd be?
Charlotte.
We have talked about
Yeah,
that
we
possibly
have.
being her.
I would-
I'm actually staying in the same.
I'm saying Charlotte.
I'm staying in the same realm as Doc. I think it's Ember Moon.
I think she's still hurting, but I hope you're right.
So
Because
no,
last I've heard that she is ready to go, but they've just been trying to figure out how to get it done. Now, who do I think it probably is going to be? I think it's going to be Bobby Roode. I'd like it to be Ember Moon, but I think it's going to be Bobby Roode.
I would love for it to be Bobby Roode as well because he's
And-
so great at that.
And
gimmick.
how much do I want a Roode Balor program
do we get points
that
for
could be
this, by the
booked
way?
right? No, we're not doing extra points.
Oh,
Because Jess didn't get to make her guess, and that would be unfair to her.
that is, that
All
is
right,
true.
so let's do the plugs real quick and take a quick break. Jay, you out there? You ready for this thing?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so make sure that you follow us on all of
dear.
your social medias. The Cheap Popcast, I know. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, all of the things. You can follow me if you'd like. Everything is yes, that Rob Irvin. That is spelled ERVIN.
barefootnationband.com. Come out and see that. Otherwise, you know where I live. Come by.
Suburban Cowboy, Chemical Tree.
Suburban Cowboy, Chemical Tree, Animal Farm. We just we are going to be booked to playing Harvest House here in Denton, so come on out.
All right.
Otherwise, y'all know where I live. Half of y'all been to my house.
Man carries.
Yeah, we'll shoot some pool, drink some stuff, and have fun in the backyard. You know what I mean?
I hate Sam Roberts, and I am Vexploit on all social media. Remember, if you'd like to help out the show, go to prowrestlingtees.com/thecheappopcast.
Don, quickly.
And on Twitter, I'm at Igbunu, IGBUNUUU. Also, and that's all I'll leave it at.
And also, that's what I'll leave it at. The wit and wisdom of Don Ford, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if we do have TakeOver next month, Don, and it's on a Saturday, you better be ready with that smoker.
Okay.
All right?
It's on.
And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can email me. I am Rob at thecheappopcast.com. We're going to take a quick break, reset, and we will be back in just a couple of minutes for the deconstruction of NXT TakeOver 31. Stay with us.